I'd like to introduce Patti from the United States, who takes LDN for Hailey Hailey's disease. Thank you for joining me, Patti. Could you tell me when you first noticed there was something wrong with your skin?
About 6 years ago is when it first really started getting bad. As I look back over the years, I had something. They didn't know what it was. They either told me it was a boil or stress. I think it was Hailey's. It just hadn't started. He just hadn't kicked in real good. So I'd have blisters on my chest, and they'd give me an antidepressant, and it seemed to go away. And then my son passed away in 2001, and I just kept getting sick, and within 4 or 5 years, then I really started to break out. I think that was the trigger that really started it to, just to kick in, and it started underneath my arm, and then it went to my groin. I've had surgery, skin cut out underneath my arm and underneath and in my groin, so that they thought that maybe new skin growing would get rid of it, but nah.
Oh, goodness. And what about the pain, Patti? Were you in pain?
Oh, yeah. A couple summers ago, I got it so bad underneath my arms, they almost put me in the hospital. I do have pictures of that I'll send you.
Okay.
And they were giving me, I think they gave me Lortabs.
So
that was the most painful.
Were you virtually bedbound by this point? Were you able to get any clothes on?
I've never been clothesless, although I wear as few as, when I have a bad outbreak like that, I wear as few clothes as possible.
Okay. So what would you have said your quality of life was like on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, before you found LDN?
Before LDN?
Yes.
Oh, a 2.
A 2, okay. So pretty bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You just can't go anywhere. I mean, it's just the smell, the pain, it's nasty stuff, as you know.
And you had a lot of secondary infections with it, did you, as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how did you hear about LDN?
The Hailey's New Approaches.
Right. And how long ago was that?
Oh, let's see. Well, when did they start? Do you know?
No.
A year ago, we had a site. Karen Beck had a Hailey's Hailey site, website, and then her and one of the other girls that we came in contact with started a website. I can't remember the name of it. It's now Hailey's Worldwide.
Okay.
But before they started that, I guess people were finding the website that Karen had, and Lori Tongan. Lori. I can't think of her.
Yes, I know who you mean.
She started the Hailey's New Approaches, and they were talking about LDN on that. And at the time, I was having such a terrible time that I asked my doctor if she would, prescribe it, see if it didn't work, and thank heavens she did.
Oh, that's amazing. Your own doctor prescribed it.
Yeah, and she's not even a doctor; she's a PA.
Right. Okay. Oh, wonderful.
But I was lucky. I used to work with her, and she knows that I researched things. And
well.
So I gave her the information that I had that Lori had sent me about LDN, and she read it over, and she's let me try it. And I've been on it since, almost a year, I think.
And when you first started, did you notice any introductory side effects?
Nothing.
And how long did it take before you noticed it was doing something to help you?
Within a month.
And what did you notice?
My blisters were going away. I wasn't breaking out anymore.
So how long did it, I mean, you said before we started this recording that you were now clear. How long did that take?
To be completely clear, I would say within 2 months. And right now I'm not completely clear.
Oh,
I have a breakout behind my knee that was really bad. It's almost gone. But I've been under a lot of stress, and that has a lot to do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And sugar has a lot to do with it. And since I have been stressful, I have partook in some sugar.
Okay.
But I know better, and I know that if I eat any sugar, that I'll get some type of outbreak.
Yeah. So if we do a summary here, you've been on LDN about a year. You were clear after like 2 months, and you've just had a flare. But would you say, other than being stressed and the sugar that you've eaten, in that year after you got clear, would you say you've had outbreaks like you had prior to LDN?
No.
Have you had many flares in that time, or was it just that one?
Just this one behind my knee.
Really? Mm-hmm. So you went several months with nothing?
Right, yeah.
Now,
completely clear.
And has that ever happened before in your life?
Without LDN, no.
Really? So you would have to say...
Well, no, I will have to say that I went to a dermatologist, and that when I had the real bad outbreak underneath both of my arms and under my breast, he put me on cyclosporin, and that cleared it up. But as soon as I quit taking it, it came right back. And sometimes when you try the same thing twice, it doesn't work.
Yes.
And the second time it didn't work, and that's very very expensive. It's like $200 for a prescription, and I don't have that kind of money.
Mm-hmm.
But the LDN has done the trick for me.
Well, that's truly amazing, and I look forward to seeing the pictures. Would you be prepared to do another interview in a year's time, Patti, and do a follow-up?
Oh, sure.
That would be really helpful. Well, thank you very much for sharing your wonderful, inspirational story with us. I really do appreciate it.
Well, you're very welcome.